The show goes on! Nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates! The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. The no bullshit approach to all financial markets, including political betting, Bitcoin, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today, special guest, Justin O, former hedge fund analyst at Citadel and tech fund CFO, basically a total baller, talking to us about crypto, running down the yes or no's, Dash, Airbnb, Tesla, and to lead off the show, the stimulus hopes. Justin O, welcome to Market Mania.
Thanks for having me.
The stimulus. What is your take on this latest round of stimulus news?
Yeah, I mean, I think my quick take is stimulus. The market is looking relatively past the stimulus. That's why you're not seeing huge moves about it. We're seeing a slimmed down stimulus package. But the big key thing to keep your eye on is, are the folks that are sitting at home without a job going to keep getting their fix from the government, right? The government's giving them enhanced unemployment claim benefits. And a lot of people who are out of work because of the service industry specifically, they're getting paid equal or even more money from the stimulus. So are they going to continue to get that stimulus and continue to spend that stimulus on, I guess, shoes from the internet or, only?
Yeah, you know what, Justin? I think a lot of people are going to be in for a big disappointment because when they hear stimulus, they're thinking $1,200 check like last time. And that's not part of the deal this time. They're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
So,
do you know if the $700 or $700 enhanced a week is there?
I'm not sure about that one.
I think that was what's more in the, yeah, I agree. Like the one-time $1,200.
People just hear stimulus and in their mind, they're expecting $1,200 check. They're going to be real surprised when they're not getting that for Christmas.
Yeah. I think they need to file for unemployment, and then unemployment basically triple, like the stimulus bill will triple normal state unemployment.
So the Dow has rebounded a little bit, sort of garbage time, but Tesla, never a dull moment in Tesla. I mean, Tesla. Justin, what is going on here? This valuation is batshit, is it not?
On the surface of it, it is batshit. I think when you look at kind of on forecasted analyst, metrics, Tesla is trading at, hold on, let me pull it up here, a $600 billion enterprise value at $630 a share. And that's 60 times forward gross profit, 72 times forward EBITDA, which is like cash profit. It's just insane, right? So what is going on here? Well, I've done a DCF valuation model on Tesla. Again, not super deep. There's some really deep Tesla analysts out there on YouTube, but all the value of Tesla being assigned is in its terminal value. So people are assigning value, huge amounts of value to what they're going to be worth in 10, 20, 30 years if they take autonomous driving for the consumer market and the trucking market and potentially becoming as big of an auto producer as Toyota, right? So if you believe, I guess I am a Elon Musk fan, been that way. He's been in my password since like high school. So I am the not anymore. I've been I've loved him, right? I think like from Zip2, everything he's done, like he's turned to gold. He's amazing. So I want biggest.
Starlink's going to be awesome.
I think it will be. I don't think it's going to eat 5G's lunch. I think it'll eat basically like the other satellites' lunch, right? And
what if you live on an island and like you ran the fiber line, but you want redundancy?
No, agreed. I think it will be bigger and create more value for the satellite market than is existed right now. And it's cool that they can leverage and monetize even more so SpaceX. But anyway, I'm a huge Elon bull. I'm a huge Tesla bull as a company. Now the valuation gets me a little queasy as a true valuation fundamental analyst. But if I assume that they become as big as Toyota in the next 10 years, in terms of how much money they make from selling cars, And, they make good headway on energy generation and storage, meaning battery packs for like homes and municipalities. And I assume that they have, in year 2025, they start going to market on consumer autonomous driving, trucking autonomous driving. And those businesses are worth, $80 billion each by that time, right? And I discount all that back. All those assumptions in there, I get a value, of, I think I put a $725 bull, fanboy target price on it.
More reasonable than most. Let me ask you a question, Justin. Let's just see where your head's at. Let's just see what you know about the business. If you had to pick who's going to win this war in the electric trucking business, who are you going to go with, Tesla or Nikola?
So my first viral video on YouTube was talking shit about Nikola.
Oh, all right. You're on the team then.
You're
on the right
and
side.
I called them. I did a TikTok at peak. I said, this is a warning, sell your Nikola at the peak of their stock. So go on my TikTok account, a couple cents everywhere. My YouTube account, I did a valuation, a two video series valuation, very on the fly of Nikola. And first of all, I don't like salesy guys that talk without any substance. Like, it's very clear he didn't have any substance. But two, the valuation was insane. And I called that at like $30 a share. Obviously, it went like all the way up to 90. But then now it's, the teens. I don't even follow it anymore.
Justin, I don't really mix words, but Trevor looks like it's such a basic bitch like play where like he wants to pretend to be Elon. They calls his real company Tesla. All right, I'll name my company Nikola.
Yeah.
I keep this 3D printed ocarina of time that actually plays. And every time a stock of any relevance is delisted, we play it. And Nikola is going to get the ocarina at some point. This is a scam company. They pushed a truck down a hill. This isn't real. And then
I agree, Brian. I agree. But anyway, so that's my answer. Is Tesla going to win? Look, I think that guy has the willpower and force to basically make anything win, right? So I think EVs are going to be really good for last mile and local trucking. Now, long haul remains to be seen. I did a long form interview on my channel, just search a couple cents on YouTube, where I interviewed someone who was in the trucking industry for a long time and actually was working at a CNG, a compressed natural gas company that went to market 15 years ago and they failed. So now everybody's like hyping themselves up on Hyliion, but that's the same shit as we saw 15 years ago. Why didn't it work then? It's because
they'll solve it.
It's because
just to wrap up, Justin, on Tesla, I think we're all on the same page. We don't know if Tesla's going to be the winner, but we all agree that Nikola certainly won't be the winner.
By the way, remember when people gave up on Tesla?
There's our man.
Justin, last one. When SpaceX IPOs, I'm salivating for this one almost as much as the Roblox IPO. When SpaceX does IPO, what valuation are you just piling in at it?
I don't have an answer for that. I apologize. I don't know their financials. I will say that one is much more like Palantir that I didn't like. And I don't really cry about things I miss because it sounds like the Robinhood Army got a hold of Palantir. I don't love government contractors generally. I think it's stickier, but it's so like, no, I meant like in terms of as a business model.
Fair enough.
So
yeah, spying on people with the Palantir, fuck that.
But SpaceX, I don't have any moral inhibitions against SpaceX. I just don't know, right? I would love to be in that company, but I don't know if he's ever going to give up public control of that thing. He hates.
Fair enough. I love a guy on the show that's willing to admit he doesn't know something. That's the greatest.
Airbnb, it's a mark of a true scientist, of a good scientist, right there. Airbnb. Justin O is on my 2 cents. 2 cents. What is it?
No, it just search a couple cents on YouTube.
A couple cents.
A couple cents on YouTube. Find Justin O there. This man, I can tell from 5-10 minutes here, is sharp as hell. Airbnb, the Robin Hooders, the Wall Street bettors, the whole donk retail segment, as we call it, was just piling in right from the get-go. We have Brett Ritchie. He represents that segment of the investors that he's not here today, but he was saying any valuation, I'm buying in. As soon as Airbnb hits, I'm buying in. Justin, is that good? Is that bad?
Good investing.
What do you
Yeah,
think
you're talking to
now?
someone who made a career out of valuation. So someone who says valuation doesn't matter is telling me my career doesn't matter. I have a target price of $81 a share on that. That puts the value in about at a slight discount to a Square or a Spotify or a Netflix. For reference, those companies are trading at about a 20 times forward gross profit multiple. Airbnb is a worse business because it has the cyclicality of travel. As you can tell, right, the next pandemic or the next recession, Airbnb revenues will go down much more precipitously than a Square's or a Spotify's, right? So it's just this flat out worse business model. I love the business model. I think it's gonna continue to take market share from traditional hotel stock. And I said that, 5-10 years ago, but I couldn't invest back then. Not 10 years ago, they weren't around. 5 years ago when I was at another fund. But now they're trading at $125 a share, $91 billion valuation, 24 times forward gross profit. And that's a premium to any of those better companies, right? So just from that level, they're overpriced by 50, 60%. And and I think you really have to push your assumptions to the absolute extreme to get to $150 a share. So it's asinine.
Justin, thank you very much. Brett Ritchie, I know you're watching today. When you shit on valuation, you're shitting on Justin O's entire career. So you need to look at valuation. We do not buy IPOs at any price anymore. That's not what we're teaching the kids here. Glance, you can get with me on this, right?
Right. Justin, what he's referring to is our co-host, Brett, who you haven't met, but he's on the show every other day. His pick of the day last week was Airbnb at any valuation. He doesn't care where it opens. He's buying it on the open.
He has to raise his hand. Next time he's on, he has to raise his hand, say he's wrong. That's what we do. We're good scientists here. When we get something wrong, we tell them. No, we have to.
Well, if he
I am never going to financially recover from this.
if he bought calls, those are going to zero.
We're bringing him kicking and screaming from the poker world into the investing world. It's just we're kicking and screaming. He's just all in Riot blockchain puts. But no, we're gonna set his mind.
Think about it like this. I love poker too, by the way. Lots of overlap. I am someone who tells you, like, my role is not necessarily what to do on the hand. It's like I can tell you. I study the odds of.
You're about the theory of the hand.
Yeah, I'm like the theory of poker, right?
We love it.
And the execution is you guys, right? That's that.
You're a GTO guy, Justin.
All right. Airbnb overvalued. DoorDash, also hot IPO. Justin O, are we allowed to sail in this one at any valuation, or should we actually look at the market cap of the company and forward-looking earnings?
$50 billion for this thing. $50 billion.
Yeah. So DoorDash is at 155 fully diluted. I think their valuation's about 60 billion. So 50, 60, right? I mean, it's kind of debatable.
Yeah.
$55 a share. That values them at 16 times forward gross profits. So you're getting this company at 60% of the value, 60% of the valuation of Airbnb. They're both going to be sort of similar types of businesses, right? Very levered towards consumer spending. Although I think deliveries are much more sticky than going to like on a trip, right? So I think it's slightly better. They're massive market gainers, huge execution. Seamless Web and Grubhub were already like the market share masters, and they basically ate their lunch, pun not intended, right? So it's a Silicon Valley darling. They're going to continue to grow. They're growing at like 3 or 4 times the speed of Airbnb at a much lower valuation. I think they're basically not only going to take over the restaurant delivery world, but now they're doing deals with like Nordstrom and some of these retailers doing deliveries, like short mile, last mile deliveries. And I think they're really going to disrupt a ton. So my opinion is I want to be in the stock. I don't like, I'm not pounding the table at 155 because I'm afraid of the short term, even though I'm a long-term investor, afraid of the short-term return from home, return to the world trade, right? I think a lot of these stay-at-home stocks will sell off indiscriminately. But even at 155, at a mid-teens forward gross profit multiple, I would love to be in DoorDash stock because this thing is growing at almost 200% a year. That means it's tripling every single year.
And they have what, like 50% of the market share or something?
Oh yeah, they've got like 50% of the market share. The second market share like holder is Uber Eats, who I also like Uber because it actually has a return from home.
Right, but listen, Uber, Postmates, Grubhub. This is a crowded sector. So my question to you is, what proprietary technology does DoorDash have that the other ones don't have? What makes it better? Or
so when I bought my Model X,
okay,
when you say a car gets you from A to B, what's the difference between Tesla and a Toyota?
Well, the technology.
Atari in the Tesla. They got
but regardless, right? They both are generally in the same price range. They're generally, I mean, obviously Tesla's more expensive. Let's be honest, right? More expensive. But if you're buying a Model 3, it's about the same price as like a expensive Camry,
right?
And it gets you from A to B, right? So what does DoorDash versus Postmates? Like I order on all of them just to test my thesis, the experience. So DoorDash pioneered the bilateral market, partnering directly with the restaurants and having the best Dasher experience. I know you'll have anecdotal evidence otherwise, but definitely like you can't argue with the market share gain. They've basically killed Seamless Web, Grubhub, and Postmates. They're all struggling. Now it's a DoorDash game. It's a Postmates game, and it's execution. Here's a good example. If sometimes you just have to invest behind amazing transformational leadership teams. Tesla is one of them, Elon Musk, right? If he comes out with, I don't know, like a movie theater, I'll probably invest behind it, even though I hate movie theaters.
Justin O, this is great stuff here. I mean, you're just testing the thesis. You pick the girl up in the Tesla Model X, then you go home, order the DoorDash and the Grubhub. I love it. I love where your head's at right now. But my big question for you is crypto. You mentioned it. You're a real guy. Citadel credentials. What about this crypto space? I've been banging it for 9 years, but listen, Bitcoin, are you positive or negative on this particular asset?
Brian, I am trained as value investing on Wall Street, but my bent is towards innovation and tech, as you can tell. I got in on Bitcoin, not super early, but at $300.
That's early.
It's early-ish, right? I was not anyway. They had $300. I am a believer in Bitcoin. I didn't buy as much as I should have at $300 for sure. But the thesis here, right, is you have two layers of the world now. The first layer is the physical layer, and exacerbated by the fact that we all realize we don't need the physical layer anymore, right? We're all in quarantine. And then you got this internet layer that's about 20 years old in earnest, right? And there's two worlds, and there are two economies, the physical economy and the virtual economy. So the physical economy for thousands of years, we're talking about 3,000, 4,000 BC. I don't know the exact date, right? You have gold. Gold was our store of value that was translatable across all cultures and all languages. And the only reason for that is the OG, 1. 2, it's shavable into little pieces. 3, it doesn't rust, so it's kind of immutable, right? 4, it's scarce and rare, but you can find it in like 2% inflation rates. So right now, the gold miners find about 2% of the stock per year. And so therefore it's scarce. You can cut it up into little pieces and whatever. And it was first. Silver does the same thing, but it was first. Bitcoin is first for the internet layer. It's the first ubiquitous, non-third party controlled store of value. Like Microsoft tried like Microsoft bucks in the 90s, right? Like it's a immutable distributed blockchain store of value that crosses third parties, cultures, whatever. And it's the first one there, right? And it's infinitely scalable and cut upable, especially if they build Lightning Network. I know I'm running a long time, but I don't even need to believe that it becomes a medium of exchange. All I need to do is believe that gold has a $8 to $9 billion market cap, trillion dollar market cap. Trillion dollar market cap, right? Bitcoin has a $360 billion market cap. If you believe that the second layer in our reality, which is the internet, the virtual one, deserves a store of value equal or more than the physical world's store of value. So let's say Bitcoin becomes as big as gold, and it crosses Roblox. It crosses, it's some medium exchange between Roblox and some other like World of Warcraft. I don't know, right? Or COD. I mean, that makes the bull case for a 500,000 per Bitcoin. There's only 21 million ever to be created.
Talk dirty to me, Justino. Talk dirty to me. Just keep talking. That's just, I love it. I love it. What about Ethereum? What about Ripple?
I own actually pre-IPO stock in Ripple because my conviction on XRP was higher back then in like 2015 or something.
That is lucky. That is lucky.
It was like 16, 15, 16. I forget when. It all runs together, as you can imagine. But XRP, that one is less. I'm a little bit less confident about it. Okay, that company needs to disrupt Swift, right? It's a legacy business with interest from the banks. I'm a little bit nervous about that one. Right.
I love it. You're so far you're batting 1,000 with me. Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash are the last two.
Ethereum to me is a more scalable, probably more transactable currency, right? Better cost, better scalability. They're doing proof of they're doing a lot of things with proof of stake and all that stuff. Right? Right. And so I think that there will be an Internet 3.0. I don't know if it's going to be bigger than Internet 2.0, right? Is there going to be a third layer to our world? And Internet 3.0 is distributed ledger, immutable protocols and smart contracts, right? And so who's going to be the winner? Ethereum has the leg up, and it has by far the head start. But that doesn't mean that the other Internet 3.0 smart contract layers couldn't win, like Cardano or all these other ones that they think are technologically better. We don't know if Ethereum will be the MySpace or the Facebook, right?
Justin, some of the boys out here, what about Bitcoin Cash? Sorry to cut you off on the ETH, but again, you're batting 1,000 here. You don't know. You can't guarantee with ETH. What about Bitcoin Cash? Actually spending the Bitcoin in cash?
Well, I mean, to me, it's just Roger Ver and fake Satoshi like splitting off their protocols, right?
Fake Satoshi is now on the BSV side, by the way.
Yeah, no, and then they can't even get along, so they split themselves.
Don't you dare say a word, Mac Lance. So Justin, we're out here in Antigua and Barbuda trying to terraform a small island nation using Bitcoin Cash. We set up 60 merchants so far. The Go Crypto implementation is super elegant. They got little terminals. You just pay it. We just needed a coin. Like if you really wanted to do that, let's say you were crazy, then which crypto do you use? Because we needed a small transaction fee.
Which
which crypto for buying for setting up a bunch of restaurants? Because you can't really use.
So you're saying small transactions, right?
Yeah, a bunch of just like economy. Buy gas, buy food,
so
that kind of stuff.
Lightning Network isn't there yet, right?
Definitely not.
Definitely not there yet. My opinion is, do you actually exchange US dollars with each other? Or do you exchange, or do you use a third party and you trust a third party with smaller amounts to like give you debits and credits? And the answer is the latter, right? It's all based on the US dollar, the granddaddy of them all, or all based on, which used to be based on gold, right? So it all should come back to Big Daddy, which is Bitcoin core, right? So when you're transacting in other things, first of all, I think in a short-term trade for your short-term guys, I actually think there's a funds flow thing where Bitcoin rallies and then all those funds flow and jack up the price of Ethereum and jack up altcoins. So I think if you're playing that, I think like your upside's much higher in altcoins for sure, right? If Bitcoin goes up 3 times, Ethereum's going to go up about 5 to 10 times, and then like Nano is going to go up like 100 times, right? So that's a caveat. Like I like that play, and I own a lot of Ethereum. So don't get me wrong, I own a lot of Ethereum. But what I'm choosing to interact with is probably ETH. But 2, it might be third parties. It might be like, hey, I'll PayPal you some Bitcoin, and no Bitcoin actually exchanges hands. It's just like that's my checking account.
Interesting.
It's funny too, because like it's an unfortunate marketing layer that's surrounding BCH that has led to these. I totally understand. Like if you consume what's out there, then you're just like, whoa, this looks like a big ball of crazy right here. But like if you dig down to the technical levels and you're like, well, what coin to like, if you really want, let's say you really wanted to try to terraform a small island nation, what do you use to like, buy a $12 sandwich?
Yeah, but so unless you're granddaddy, right? Unless you're real Satoshi and granddaddy, you're the only argument you can make is I'm cheaper and I'm faster and I'm more technologically stable, so, right. So now if you're going to go down to that level, then why not Litecoin where they just open up the block sizes, or why not like Nano where the fees, or Block Lattice, right? Tech where the fees are literally zero and the transactions are literally instant. So much better, right? Just slightly more untested in terms of years of security.
Both seem reasonable versus like telling someone they should pay a $3 fee or something some days for a $10 transaction.
Yeah, agreed.
That's essentially it's unsustainable.
I think the way this plays out, and it is low conviction, right? Because it's so far outdated in the future. I think we end up being just like what we used to be in currency, right? First was gold. Second was paper money that represents pieces of gold. So gold-backed currency. And then you have tech layers and third parties that manage the pieces of paper for people, because people can't store pieces of paper in their mattress. So we're going to have
Justin O from a couple cents. Sorry to cut you off. We are way over time today, but this discussion was way too interesting. You may notice the safety glasses are on right now, and that is because it is now the Market Mania. Do your own research. This is not investment advice. Pick of the day.
Make the party rock, drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack, I'm stacking to the top.
It's the Do Your Own Research Market Mania. This is not investment advice. Pick of the day brought to you by a couple cents on YouTube. And what's the free newsletter, Justin, that they can pick your brain on?
Morning Sense. Morning Sense is completely free. I do a lot of research. I do that. I get up really early and publish a lot of research and reactions to like stock market and business news. So go sign up for that. I also have a membership, which is $9.99 a month. It supports the content, but you can see all my portfolio, buy, sells, all that stuff. So
what's the web address so the viewers can get
it's all at acouplecents.com.
Couplecents.com. This man definitely knows the shit. I'm stamping the Micon seal approval on that without any other research. And with that, Justin, what is your Market Mania pick of the day?
As a fundamental corporate finance analyst, I have to pick Bitcoin for now.
Picking Bitcoin.
That was tongue in cheek. I think we've set up testing 20,000, and when you look up funds flows, like I don't mean to dive super deep into this right now, but funds flows, historical price action, the long-term thesis, my ability to hold from 20,000 to 3,000. I mean, Brian, you know how painful that is. I don't really care, because I know this thing's going to $500,000 per Bitcoin in the next 2 decades, and I don't really give a shit if it goes up or down until there. But that being said, I think the technicalities, I think we're setting up for a huge rally over the next 6 months.
You heard it.
You're saying gap fill to 50K with the supply side dry up. I'm hearing all sorts of crazy shit on Fortnite.
50K on Fortnite?
Yeah, I talk with a lot of the stock guys on Fortnite.
Oh, that's a great medium. I will say, I think 50K is, my short midterm price target. So
midterm.
Where can you, I'm a long-term guy. I don't follow price action.
Huge. That's huge. I remember the shit's at $1. I don't know. Matt Glantz.
And one more thing. Higher vol play for that. I do think the Ethereum play is probably equally as interesting.
What about some 10x long? Just leverage that up, baby. Let's go.
I don't think Justin's going to be recommending 10x anything. Just
I like assets I can hold to
50x.
I like assets like Bitcoin I can hold when it goes less than half, and I don't need to worry about it.
Gotcha.
Smart man on the show today. Matt Glantz, still not going to hold any of this crypto stuff, despite, now you got your Wall Street friends.
All right, Mike. My pick of the day is Desktop Metal, DM. It's like 16.5 now. It was Brett's pick a couple weeks ago. It was TRNE. It's one of those SPACs turned into Desktop Metal. Great industry. They're producing machines out of metal with a printer, and that is the future of this industry in this country. So love this stock. Chamath's in it. You know, when Chamath's backing something, you just got to be in it.
Yep. When they start 3D printing guns, then all of a sudden you're going to need the desktop metal. This could be a defense stock before too long. All right. I'm going with BCH. I just have to bang the drum a little bit because ignore the marketing and look at that shit. And you might actually get that tailwind that Justin was talking about. If regular Bitcoin pumps huge, there's a good chance that all that other alts, it could be alt season again too. And we're terraforming a small country out here in the Caribbean with it. Come and visit it whenever your country will let you. All right. That is going to do it for a great Market Mania. Special guest, Justin O. We thank him. Get his stuff at a couple cents on the various platforms. He's big on TikTok. Just found out that. And tonight, while you go to sleep tucked in right before the holidays and so, we leave you with a rap quote from one of the, poets of our time. And today's no different. We're going to go with Logic from Man of the Year. Goes a little something like this. Love it when they sing to us. Been shining what's bling to us. Yeah, over here, it's only been a year. I was dead broke. Now I'm ballin' like a sphere. The Man of the Year. Like and subscribe to this show right here on YouTube and follow us at Market Mania Show on Twitter. We'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. Come on, I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Come on. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury. Power of attorney, wow, we're turning. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind, was afraid of the time strobe light.